Hey everyone, on this week's episode of the Pit Therapy Podcast, me and our buddy Chris Nichols sit down to try and decide which bands from every genre are underrated, appropriately rated, and overrated. Honestly, this episode was a ton of fun. We have some terrible hot takes, but I hope you all enjoy it and let us know what you think.
Somebody hit somebody!
Alrighty, welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Pit Therapy Podcast. I'm Kyle, and we are luckily enough joined by Chris again from Chicken and Waffles, First Grade Fight Club, all the cool stuff. So, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining.
I'm good, dude. I am happy to be here at the Pit Therapy Podcast, my second home at this point. Yeah,
Well, good.
yeah.
Good. You're always welcome here. Trevor is out having a baby. Well, his wife's having a baby. This isn't Mr. Mom scenario.
He could. Did you ever see that movie Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he gets pregnant? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's true. I don't know if science is involved quite that far, but
could. Science, physics, chemistry, zoology. It's all the same. Astrology. Yeah.
Any of it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Virgo, Sagittarius.
anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not here today. He's doing grown up real life stuff. So good for him. But we're always happy to have you. And, you know, we're just ready for round 2 of the hot take extravaganza. And
Yeah, man.
it's going to be a good time. So
The Hot Mess Express is what they call us.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I received like relatively low hate for our last episode.
Oh, good.
So I think that's why I said we should do this one, because there was enough
Yeah.
hate. I'm expecting more on this one.
The only hate that I received was from Trevor. So that worked out great for everybody.
That's true.
Yeah.
He did hate text us both.
Yes, he
So-
did.
But, oh, well, you know what? Show up.
We love him. We love him anyways. Yeah.
So, all right, man. But like, what have you been listening to this week? Anything cool?
I've been kind of all over musically. Like, for example, one of my favorite slam bands I've been listening to a lot today. They're called Begging for Incest, and very, very upsetting band from mid 2000s. But I also balance it out with there's this new pop band I really like called Pale Waves. They're not new, but they're new to me. So I've got like Begging for Incest at one point, and then I go to these little pop kids from the UK. So it's just balance, you know. It's a good bittersweet. It's a buffalo
Sounds
sauce with
normal.
blue cheese, and then I've also been listening to a lot of The Maine lately, the pop punk band. One of my
right.
best friends, they're his favorite band, and I like them. Yeah, I'm not a hater, but I was like, I should just listen to all of it. Why not? So I've been literally listening to every album by The Maine lately.
Well, dude, I've not thought about that band in like
Right,
a
dude,
real
they're
long
still
time.
going. Like that's because I think of them and I think of like, oh yeah, way back in the day, pop punk kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they're still going strong.
Huh. Well, cool.
There you go.
Interesting.
And then last one, I've never stopped listening to like Dying Wish. So I've been listening to a lot of Dying Wish lately because I just love them.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm not a huge Dying Wish fan, but
That's
Cool.
okay. One day you'll understand.
maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. So
How
I've had
about
kind
you,
of a
though?
weird week. Yeah, I'd listened to like, been going on another like punk binge a little bit.
Okay.
Listened to a lot of like old AFI, Dropkick Murphys.
Sick.
I found this like oi punk band from Texas called Liberty and Justice. They're kind of cool. So
Love that.
I don't know. I get like, yeah, kind of like you, except it seems like you have like these huge sways really quickly. I don't, but I do get out to the fringes, you know, for a while. And
Yeah.
yeah, I guess the alternative to the oi punk that I was listening to this week would have been Latin music.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, my wife's Latina, and so
Yeah.
I get turned on a lot of Latin music. Dude, it's all right. It's kind of I
Oh,
don't do reggaeton. Like I'm not like a Bad Bunny fan. That
Yeah.
stuff ain't me. But like I do like some good Latin music. So
I like some Latin music too.
where did you learn that from? Like where did you pick that up?
My brother was a missionary in Panama, and when he got home, that's all he listened to. And there's one band called Mana, Mana, M-A-N-A. I don't know how you say it.
Yeah, Mana.
That he played a lot that I really liked. Pardon
Cool.
me.
Yeah.
But that,
Cool.
I mean,
No, that's
there's
sick,
a
man.
lot of there's a lot of like metal from the Spanish world I like, but that's not like Latin music.
I know. Dude, I'm actually going to bring up one today. So
Oh heck yeah!
I'm glad you mentioned that. So, new tours. I know we were talking about that today. So
Yes.
the one that I'm most excited about is that Comeback Kid tour. looks sweet.
Stacked.
Yeah. So it's Comeback Kid, Koyo, Desmadre, what was it? Cancer Bats
And
and
Orthodox. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wild. And remind me which Comeback Kid album it is they're doing the anniversary of.
it's Wake the Dead, isn't it?
Wake the Dead. It is Wake the Dead.
Which is
Just
arguably
nuts.
their best album.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah. This will be the third time in like a year that I'll see Comeback Kid and
that's crazy.
And Koyo, funny enough. And I'm not complaining about either. So
yeah. Have you seen them with each other?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
It's a great combo. Yeah.
It's going to be a ton of fun. And I actually went and saw the story so far in Koyo like a month ago.
Oh, yeah.
But stupid Ticketmaster like changed the venue and then messed the tickets up. So I had to go sit in like the roll call line and I missed all of Koyo.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I was going to ask for a refund. If I wasn't there with another guy, I would ask for a refund.
Oh, dang, man. That sucks.
So what about that other tour? I think it was it you that sent it?
Yes, the Balmora tour with Torture and Sanction and Final Resting Place in Azara, man. That's wild.
Yeah.
Almost all those bands just played the FYA Fest, so it's funny that they're like starting a tour, just the 5 of them. But yeah, that's like I said to this to some other buddies because that Comeback Kid tour isn't coming to Salt Lake, but I said I'd kill to go to that one, and for the Balmora one, I will go to that one and get killed. Because that one is violence by younger kids ready to lose their lives.
Yeah. It's crazy though that Contention's not headlining.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my hot take. I don't like Torture. And so we're
going to talk about that. So
okay, great. I love Slam. I don't think they're good. And so so I see them like with all these great bands. I'm always like, why isn't this other better band playing with them? But whatever. Contention could have been so good on that tour.
I know. Wait, no, it wasn't Content. Wait, sorry. Who was it again? The band's playing?
It was Torture, Balmora, Final Resting Place, Sanction, and Azara.
Sanction. That's not Contention. Sanction. Look, dude, it's been a long week. Sanction should have been headlining.
There's a lot of shun bands.
I know, right?
I love Sanction.
I do too.
Such a big fan.
Yeah.
They're so good live too. Those shows are nuts.
Yeah. It's gonna be wild.
Yeah, it'll be a great tour.
So well, cool, man. Anything else? Any other bands? Tours you want to call out?
Always bands. Oh man, I don't know of another tour that's fresh in my mind. I will say, did you see that? I don't know if you're into Chiodos at all.
We're gonna talk about that
tour. Oh, great! That Chiodos tour sold out so fast, and I did not get tickets. And I'm
really?
I'm gonna have to ask for guest list, and I'm gonna feel like such a weirdo. I've never done that. I've never said to like my friends, "Hey, could you put me on the guest list?" That show sold out in like a few days.
Yeah.
So
I think if you like prefaced it with that, it wouldn't be that bad, would it?
How do I politely tell my friends in the Callis Boys? A lot of people listen to you because of me. Let me in for free.
No, I wasn't going to take it that way, but sure, dude, you can say that to them.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll just message, I have a gun. Yeah.
Just be like, look, I've got, and like, buy them a bag of Twinkies or something. I don't know. What do the kids eat these days?
They're eating vapes. They're eating fidget spinners. Yeah,
tell them you'll buy them a bunch of Zen or something. You know?
Buy you guys a bunch of Elf bars. Let me in. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. That sucks.
Oh, well.
So, all right. Well, I guess we will jump right in. So last time we were on, we talked about who we thought were the greatest bands of all time for each genre. So we're going to do something similar, genre based, but we're going to talk about bands that we think are underrated, bands that are appropriately rated, and bands that are overrated for genres.
Yeah.
So as you were going through this finding bands, what were some things that you were thinking about?
I actually had a really hard time finding bands that were like properly rated. Like the middle one, I felt like was harder than any of them. Overrated, I was coming up with like instantly. Maybe that just makes me a hater. And I feel like underrated, I felt like I did really easy. But finding the bands where I was like, not only do they have a good, fan base, but also they get booked a lot and people that talk about them a lot. That actually was harder for me than anything.
Yeah. I think the issue with the appropriately rated is it's hard to say a band like has done what you think they could, like accomplish
Yeah.
what you think they could accomplish, right? Like some of the bands that I rated at that, like the middle one, is it's just like they might be popular, but they're not like massive, or
Yeah.
they might be smaller, but they're not like people know them. So it's these
Yeah.
weird like middle of the road bands that are good and everyone's gonna like, but maybe they just didn't, make it huge. Or maybe it's a band that like I think I have a couple that are huge bands, but you knew they were gonna be huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that is appropriately rated, right? Even though like so I just want to make that clear that it's not necessarily like a popularity thing or anything like that. It's more of like do we think that they get the flowers they deserve?
Yeah.
Or do they get too many flowers?
Yeah.
So dude, this was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
This
This was a lot of
was.
fun.
Yeah.
And I was scrolling through a bunch of music, and like you said, there's a lot of these genres that I'd never really like. We're gonna talk about gent.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I didn't know, but then I start like listening to a few bands and it's like, oh, but what about this band? And what about this weird like domino effect of all of a sudden I've listened to like 20 bands that were gent that I never knew that it just never clicked. I don't know. This was a really fun exercise. So I hope that people enjoy this. Again, send us the hate or send us the love. If you guys could do better, like send us what you got and we want to hear it. So, we'll jump right into, I think the first one we had was pop punk.
Yes.
Right. I'll let you go first on this one.
Which one should I start with? Like overrated, underrated?
We'll start underrated, appropriately rated, and then overrated.
Okay. I like this.
Yeah.
So the first one I did for underrated is the band Like Roses. They're a pop punk band I really enjoy, and they've been around shockingly like longer than you think they have. I've listened to them a good amount, and then I saw them open for the Wonder Years with Trevor last year, and they were super fun. They're a great live band, a lot of fun. But like I'm always surprised they only have the number of monthly listeners they do. They really aren't very well known, but I think they're great.
Yeah. So I actually caught them on like Instagram like advertisement.
Cool. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this band's cool. And same thing. I was like, wow, they've actually like for the little amount of followers they have, they've been around for a while and the music was solid.
It's great. Yeah. It's fantastic.
Did you do more than one band for these or do you just have one?
It just is kind of all over which one I did multiples for. Yeah.
Okay.
This one I just did one underrated.
You said one? All right. So I'm like a big pop punk fan. And I actually have not quite a few. I have a few for underrated. So the biggest one, my first one that I instantly picked is Like Pacific.
Oh, great band.
They're incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're
great
such
band.
a good mix of like modern pop punk, but also lean a little bit on the hardcore side, which makes him really interesting. And his lyrics are awesome.
Yeah.
Like he's got that song that he wrote about like his grandma that passed away.
That one's not ringing a bell right away, but I believe it.
I can't remember it, but it's really good. I think they're criminally underrated. You don't really see them on like national tours. They had that song with Comeback Kid though that like I thought would have given them a little more oomph, but
in fact, I think they took all of 2024 off from playing live, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But they're great, like Pacific Rules.
Yeah. So a couple others that I have, Forever Came Calling.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The Warped Tour band. Dude.
Yeah, solid though. Solid. And then we talked about these two a little bit because I made the joke that I think pop punk might have the most like really good bands that only had a couple albums and then faded away. But City Lights and Crucial Dudes.
Oh, I don't know Crucial Dudes at all.
They're awesome.
Okay. I remember City Lights. Yeah, but Crucial Dudes, what a name.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're awesome.
Okay.
They're pretty crucial dudes.
They're pretty crucial dudes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right.
Sick. Great
appropriately rated.
Appropriately rated. Yeah. This one, I don't know if people are going to agree with me, but I'm going to say Heart Attack Man is appropriately rated right now. They are in like the world of modern pop punk. I would say sort of the like, okay, here's a good way of saying it. Back in the day, my sister always referred to MXPX as the band that opens for everybody. And I feel like Heart Attack Man is that right now, where they are. I swear that band will tour with any pop punk band. They open for, Hot Mulligan, the Wonder Years. They'll play on the Sad Summer Fest or whatever. But I really like them, and I think that they're like getting the right amount of like publicity they deserve.
Yeah.
And they also utilize social media really well. They're very
Cool.
funny online, and they get the kids that way.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I honestly don't know them that well, so I should probably
They've
check
had,
them
they
out.
had a couple songs that went insanely viral online
Mm.
for people making videos about them. So
Okay.
which is smart, which is a super smart way to do things right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll check
But they're
them out.
great.
So I only have one band for this, and it's
Okay.
Neck Deep.
Oh, okay.
I think Neck Deep has hit their stride I think they're a great band.
And they're killing
I
it.
don't think they're going to make like newfound glory status, but they are very good, very well received, have awesome tours. They just did that tour and like brought Drain on. Had an awesome, probably one of the best turnouts for a pop punk show I've seen.
Wow.
Was Neck Deep in the last few years. So
Wow.
yeah, I think they're doing exactly what they need, like what they thought they were going to accomplish, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
So
They're a great answer for that question. Like the appropriately rated. My nephew and his mom just went to, which is my sister. I don't know why I said it like that. Just went to France last month or November for his little like senior trip, and they went and saw Sum 41 play their final European show ever, and Neck Deep opened. So it's
sick.
crazy that Neck Deep, like when they were playing here in Utah way back in the day, they were playing like in the venue, and now they're playing arenas with Sum 41.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sick. So, all right. Overrated in pop punk.
Okay.
What do you got?
My answer is State Champs. I don't know if you know State Champs. I think
such a good answer.
State Champs sucks so bad.
Oh, dang
like
it.
when they first came out, it was like, okay, I get it. They're a little more poppy than punky.
Yeah.
And as time goes on, it's like this is like diarrhea music that just keeps going. They won't go away.
Dude,
and the kids love that band. That's like such a Gen Z pop punk band as State Champs, and I don't get it.
That's such a that's the best answer. Like whatever I'm going to say after
Thanks,
this
pal.
doesn't matter. That is literally we're
they're
only
so
like
overrated.
We're only like 4 minutes into this, and that's like I don't know. There's a more appropriate answer ever.
Yeah, man, I just don't get it.
All right, I don't either.
Yeah,
and I get what you're
not my
saying. Like
thing.
their first album, you're like,
it's okay.
It's all right.
It's a little catchy,
after that,
but
I was just like, well, what happened?
It was garbage after that. Yeah,
they had the like weird country song.
They
too.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I don't want to do it. Anyways, so I've got a list on this one.
Oh, okay, here we go.
You could argue maybe that these are not necessarily the most pop punk, but everybody talks about them like they're pop punk bands.
Okay,
and I've said a couple of these before, and I know I'm going to catch more hate for it, but I think Blink-182 is overrated.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think Green Day is overrated.
Okay, man. Yeah. I mean, those aren't like bad answers at all.
Yeah. I mean, their music to me is incredibly mid.
Yeah. So. And also bands that like won't go away. Like, I get that it was cool that Blink-182 reunited with their original lineup, but it's just the music sucks. So it's like, why are you guys still doing this?
And then charging all that money for their concert.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but no.
Thousands of dollars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nuts.
No. A couple more. Again, don't know if you necessarily 100% categorize this as pop punk, but Hot Mulligan.
Oh, totally.
Kills me every time I hear it. I want to die.
Right.
Can't Swim. Not a fan of those guys.
Oh yeah. And they just got canceled. So I tried to leave. I mean, obviously the list would have been easy if we had included bands like all the bands with sexual assault allegations. Lost
or whatever,
Profits is every answer. Yeah.
And then Trevor's going to be pissed about this one.
Okay.
And I have a hard time saying it because I'm a fan of one album.
Okay.
And I know I'm going to catch hate for this one, and Trevor's going to hit me, but The Wonder Years.
That's insane. I'm with Trevor on this. That is insane. I love that band.
I've never gotten them.
Okay.
The Greatest Generation. I get that album. Everything else, I don't get.
Fair enough.
Don't get it.
I will say The Wonder Years is a little bit more acquired because he has kind of a whiny voice and every song is singing about how he wants to die.
Yeah.
Like, I get it.
That's why I hate Hot Mulligan too.
Yeah.
The like weird singy scream. I don't know. The Wonder Year guy, like it's not as bad.
It's different though.
It's the same feel, you know?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
But all right. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that. Whatever. So
whatever, man.
We can move on. So
great.
All right. Punk music.
Okay.
Are you a big punk guy?
I am. I grew up a very big punk guy. It was like my first genre I loved.
All right. Cool. Mm-hmm. I'll start with this one. Underrated. I have two of them.
Okay.
A Wilhelm Scream,
Oh, totally.
and Strike
Great answer.
Anywhere.
Oh, great answers.
They
I
are,
love Strike Anywhere.
dude. There's a couple more that I wanted to add, like
Yeah.
Lawrence Arms.
Oh, I love Lawrence Arms.
Great bands, man.
Great band.
Great bands. And
Yeah.
I think that unless you're like deep into punk, I don't know that you're really listening to these guys.
Totally.
So,
Especially like Wilhelm Scream. I feel like that is very, and not even just deep into punk. You have to be like the right age to appreciate a Wilhelm
right.
Scream. Cause I don't know, like new kids in the scene. They're like, oh yeah, Wilhelm Scream, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Great
guess
bands
maybe
though.
you could say these are like bordering hardcore, and that's probably why I like them so much. But to me,
They're
they're
a little
punk
more,
bands. So,
aggressive. Yeah.
yeah. But
Love
all
that.
right, what do
Great
you have? What do you
answers.
have for underrated?
So I just think this is the most criminally underrated punk band, but they're way lesser known. Is Limp Wrist? They were
Okay.
a queercore band that was all gay guys that were like, we are going to be very like proud to be gay, and our music is going to be so aggressively gay, and you're going to be okay with it because. And they all, they were a band in the '90s that it was not a well accepted thing in the scene, so it was cool that they were like not only had such a cool message, but their music also just rules. It's
Yeah.
very angry and fast, and they're now dudes in their like 50s and 60s that still get half naked at every show and just get gross and weird, and I love that.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's
Yeah.
a good one. There were a lot of like older 90s punk bands that I thought
Yeah.
of, but I don't know that I necessarily connected with them as much as I do these. So
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
And punk's hard because, I mean, of all the genres we're talking about, punk is the oldest one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Which funny enough, none of my answers are old bands, like really old bands.
Yeah, me neither.
Appropriately rated, I have NoFX.
Oh, okay. We are going to have a conversation about this.
Okay. Cause did you have them as overrated?
I do.
You do? Oh, nice.
I do.
Okay. Well, okay. So I put them, I mean, I put them just because like, I don't know. I think they embodied a lot of what, especially punk in the generation they came up in.
Yes.
I think they did what they needed to do for it. You know? And they also have hung up their shoes.
They have.
I respect that bands that actually know when to call it quits. Like, just call it quits. Be done. You know?
And they did it in a very like, we respect the fans. We want to make sure we don't just leave you guys, but
yeah. So funny enough, I'm not a huge fan of their music. It's not my favorite punk band.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But I can respect that you've done what you've done, and you know, so that's why I put them.
That's sick.
What about you?
I'm not even sure about this answer anymore that I'm staring at it, but I said in my mind the most appropriately like the level they got to punk band is the Distillers. I think the Distillers were insanely talented and super fun, but they also got to a weird point where like they were on like the Tony Hawk Pro Skater. They're on like tons of Tony Hawk games, and the singer is married to the guy from Queens of the Stone Age, or I think they're exes now. Anyway, but the Distillers, like, I think it kind of goes back to what you're saying about NoFX, where I think they embodied punk in like the 2000s because it wasn't pretty. It was kind of gross. The singer Brody, her voice is very raspy and weird. But I just really liked the Distillers, but I also think like they didn't stay out their welcome, which is one of the biggest issues in the world of punk rock is a lot of bands don't know when to call it quits, or they call it quits too early. Yeah. So I think the Distillers, the reason I chose them is because they had like the right range for their style.
Yeah.
For when to stay together. Yeah.
Dang, that's a band I haven't thought of in like a real long time.
I love that band. I think they're
great. Hold on. Trevor sent me some answers. I don't know what I'm thinking of.
I'd love to hear Trevor's answers.
And I want to. Sorry, I should have remembered this. So
that's
just real quick to go back over pop punk. He says overrated right now. The story so far, just because Parker Cannon has sold it performing live.
I mean, that is true.
So yeah. He says MXPX underrated. Don't get talked about enough.
Okay.
Rufio is a band.
Oh, Rufio. I liked Rufio. Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, solid one. Newfound Glory appropriately rated.
Okay.
And then I guess he didn't really put. I guess overrated was the story so far. So he didn't have any opinions on punk. So
Fair.
All right. So we can
I
keep going
see
up
the
on.
story so far thing. I see it.
Yeah. So
I
he's
love
got a
them,
few
but I see
more.
it.
I'll throw him in. Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. So let's see here. Overrated. All right. For overrated, I have Rise Against.
Oh my gosh, yes. Abso-freaking-lutely.
I
Great
mean,
answer.
they play like they're punk people. They think they are, but like
They think
it's
they
so
are.
gimmicky to me. It just feels so fake.
Absolutely. They're like Panic at the Disco cosplaying as a punk band.
Dude,
Oh
absolutely.
my
And
gosh.
like supposedly they claim Edge and stuff, and I'm like, it's kind of feels like
Whatever.
a ploy to try and like get people to listen to them. Like,
Seriously. Oh, I
I
can't
don't
stand
know.
that band.
And they just got a bunch of hate because like I think they had a ridiculous tour that was like way
Oh,
overpriced
really?
too, or something
I
like that. I
didn't know
can't remember,
that.
but or maybe he was like supported not cool stuff,
Yeah.
but it's something like that. I
Dang.
don't know.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me either. I
Yeah.
saw the only cool show I ever saw with them was, I think it was like a Day to Remember, Rise Against, and Title Fight.
Yes, I remember hearing about that tour.
Yeah, I did not stick around for Rise Against.
Wait,
I
a
listened to
Data
Title
Remember
Fight and
played
did remember.
before Rise Against? That's
Yeah,
wacky.
yeah,
That is
I know.
wacky.
This was
Dang.
this would have been 2012, so I don't know that a Day to Remember had hit like.
Yeah, and 2012 was a big time for Rise Against on like the radio and stuff.
Yeah.
So
All right, what do you have? No
I had
effects.
no effects.
Is that
Yeah,
the only one?
but
All right, tell me
but
why.
my answer for that was actually your same answer is because I've never liked them. I've never
Okay.
understood the appeal. I think that I always thought they were kind of sloppy, which is a part of punk for sure. But like I never liked it. I was never into it. And so
Yeah.
I have seen so many people, especially with this final tour, being like this band, man. And like I remember they were like, I have a group chat of friends that was sending around the set list, and I was like, that sucks, but good for you for like being willing to be excited about it. So
Yeah.
I just think, yeah.
All right. No, dude, I mean,
Yeah.
look, dude, I don't like their music either, but
That is so funny that, that we have the same reasons, but I put them as overrated.
it's overrated. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good,
great.
man. Good.
That's
So,
great.
all right. Next one, emo.
Emo,
Let's
dude.
have you start. Underrated.
Underrated. I think a like criminally underrated emo band, and I do think it's because you just had to be there at the time, is Funeral for a Friend. I really love that band, but like I don't know if they ever went down as like legends that,
Yeah.
the When We're Young Fest is like crying to have them back or anything.
Okay. So
I love that band, but yeah.
are they categorized as emo
I
or
don't
is it
know
more
because
post? Because
the blurred lines of emo and post hardcore, they're
okay.
so no.
I had them in the post hardcore one. So I
Did
agree
you
with you.
really?
Underrated, just in a
Oh
different
yeah.
genre.
That is
Yeah.
so funny. Yeah, like
Dude.
I love that band.
The first two albums, like I actually just went back and
Insane.
listened to them. Like literally, like last week, I was listening to
Yeah.
Funeral for a Friend. Incredible, dude.
Totally.
Streetcar, Juno,
Oh my
like
gosh.
all these songs, man. So freaking good.
So
Yeah.
good.
Great call, dude.
I love that band.
I had as an underrated emo band, the Early November.
Oh, totally.
They're good.
And they're emo
dude.
as hell. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you listen to their new album?
I have not.
It
Was it
came
good?
out. Yeah, it came out in 2024. It's solid, dude. Like
Oh,
surprised
okay.
me at how good it was going to be in 2024.
Yeah, that's sick.
So, yeah.
Dang.
Maybe they do get their flowers. I don't know. I just don't really
think
hear
they
anyone
do.
talk about them.
No, I don't think they do.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. It's good.
Dang, great answer.
Good band.
Yeah.
I think for emo, that was the only one that I had for underrated. All right.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's see if Trevor had anyone that was underrated.
Okay.
June. There's a band called June. That's an
June?
emo band. June. Yeah.
I
Like the
don't
month.
know June.
I don't either.
Okay.
So, you know what, Trevor?
Maybe he-
Prove it. Prove it that this band exists.
Maybe he
We don't
meant
believe
Juno by Funeral for a Friend.
Funeral for a
That's what
Friend.
it was.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
That's what
we'll
it
just
was.
Go with that. All right. So, all right. Appropriately rated. Who do you have?
Appropriately rated, I put Armor for Sleep. I think Armor
Good
for
one.
Sleep, they are so talented and so great. But they are celebrated constantly. Like they're playing so many tours since they gotten back together. They have a new record out. They're constantly getting plays right now. It's great. I love to see it because I love that band.
Cool. No, that's a good one. So I had American football and
okay.
and the majority of like Midwest emo bands. I think that
Okay.
Midwest emo in general is exactly rated where it needs to be.
Yes.
It's not huge. It's got a
but
decent
but
cult
it
following.
has its following.
And it's got its following, and it is what it is. I think American
Absolutely.
football epitomizes that. They're not the best band ever,
No.
but like I think people would genuinely take a bullet for them.
Oh, totally.
You know? So
Yeah.
and I feel that way a lot about Midwestern emo. So
Totally.
I don't know
I
if
feel like
that.
I was going to say, I feel like with American football, they have so many people that will happily listen to it. And then if the band was like, hey, we're playing your city, nobody would go. Like,
yeah, because
like,
it's not like a basement.
they're not going to spend money. Yeah, they're not going to go to a venue. But like they'll put their music on all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So Trevor has Silverstein and Census Fail. Now,
Okay.
I have Silverstein in a different one.
In a different genre.
Yeah. Are they full emo or do you call them?
I mean, they could totally be either.
Yeah. So,
Census Fail,
Census
I
Fail.
see it too.
Yeah. I think it's all right.
Both those bands have been around forever.
Yeah. So, okay. Overrated.
Okay.
I have Joyce Manor.
Whoa. That's crazy.
Not a fan, dude. Not a fan.
Damn it, dude. I love that band.
The other one, Mom Jeans.
Oh, okay. I get that.
Now,
I get that.
What's the other band that those guys are in? It's like a funk band, kind of.
Just Friends.
Just Friends. Dude, Just Friends is sick. Like, I love Just Friends.
Yeah. I think the most psychotic thing I've heard you ever say is that you love Just Friends and don't like Mom Jeans.
I know.
But okay, let's go for it.
I can't explain it. Now, I'm only saying this next one with recency bias.
Okay.
And it's My Chemical Romance. And the reason why is because there's no way that you can charge. It's just like Blink. You should not be charging what you're charging for your tour. Yep. Yeah. So I'm going to say it in 2025. In 2025, My Chemical Romance is overrated.
Okay. They've joined the ranks of the overrated emo bands.
Exactly.
Damn.
Yep.
And they're one of my favorite bands, but I don't think they're not overrated.
Yeah.
like the annoying people on TikTok, they're like, I'm such an elder emo. I like My Chemical Romance. And it's like, okay, calm down.
It's not a phase, and they're listening to like My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, and it's I'm
done with this. Yeah. I'm done with this. So all right, who do you have?
For overrated, I put Panic at the Disco. Because absolutely. I really love that first album, and then they became the most overrated band, and they have stayed overrated. Like they even when they did their final show ever, nobody was sad when they decided to break up, and then they did their final show, and hardly anything was old songs, and it was like, who do you think you are?
Yeah,
like who do you think you're pleasing? And then another band that a lot of people love, I've just never been able to get behind, is Bayside.
Okay.
I've never liked Bayside.
I like Bayside. It's never
Bayside. Been my thing. I just
don't love Bayside.
And they have a huge following. It's like almost cultish how many people love that band. I just can't get behind it. I've never found it appealing.
It's just like vocals or just the music in general. Just all
I think it's just a mix of it. I've never found a Bayside song where I was like, oh yeah, this rules. It tends to be a lot of like, oh, okay, like let's move on. And I've tried, I don't know how many times over the years. I'm one of those that like, if I didn't like something, I will give it some time and try it again. Because as you get older, your taste change and you never know what you're going to like. So there's bands I didn't like, for a straight 16 years that I liked last year. So I will try it again someday, but for now, it's never been my thing.
Yeah, nah, dude, I get it. All right, so Trevor for overrated had Dashboard Confessional.
I get that.
Absolutely.
I get that. I don't really like them.
It was the same thing that we were talking about with Rise Against. Like, it was a guy that he was trying to market himself as emo to capitalize on it.
Oh yeah.
So
it was literally like, I have an acoustic guitar and your girlfriends are going to love this music.
Yeah. It's lame. It's like when the rich upper class guy tries to tell you his life sucks, That's what I felt like listening
he's wearing a flannel and a beanie, and he's like,
exactly.
Things are so hard for me as a barista.
Like $120 jeans and stuff.
Yes, exactly. Nobody gets me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Good call, Trevor. We won't beat you up for that one. So, all right. Post-hardcore.
Post-hardcore, dude.
My turn to go first?
Yes.
All right. So, I put Funeral for a Friend for underrated.
Okay.
But I also have a couple others.
Let's hear it.
Secret Lives of the Freemasons.
Oh my! I've not heard that.
They are one of the greatest.
Such a hot minute. Yeah,
dude. They're so good.
Yeah.
Like they are
Great
so
band.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think I found them on like Comcast where you could find videos on demand.
Yes. Oh, dude, that was the best way to find
It was
music
the
back in the day.
like "Shut Up and Dance" or whatever song, or I
Oh
don't
my
remember what
gosh,
it
that
was
is
named.
so
But
funny.
yeah,
Yeah.
awesome band, dude.
Dude,
Uh,
great answer.
the next one is "The Receiving End of Sirens."
Okay. Great band.
Yep, that dude
Yeah.
is a ridiculous musician.
The
Because
guy
if
from
you
the
ever
Deer
listen,
Hunter,
the
right?
Deer Hunter,
Yeah, yeah,
yep.
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of the Deer Hunter that I don't really like because it's too weird for me.
And a lot of it can be a little bit boring, but some of it is so well
But I
written.
respect the musical ability this guy has, and the receiving end of
Mhm.
Sirens slaps. So good.
That record is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Great
all right.
answers, dude.
Who do you got?
So I have like an old answer and a new answer. Old answer is Four Letter Lie. I really liked them.
Ooh.
And once his name's Kevin, right? Joined A Day to Remember. That band uh like faded into obscurity for a lot of people, but I
Yeah.
still like them, and so I think all their music's awesome.
Four Letter Lie was cool, dude.
Four Letter Lie was a great band. I really love them. And they were like catchy post-hardcore too, because they were screaming and then breakdowns, but also like really catchy hooks, and
Yeah. It
they
got a
were
little
they were really into
poppy
like
there for a while.
neon and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then a new answer is a band I just love, and I would say probably underrated just because they're newer, is Static Dress. They're one of my
Okay.
favorite bands. They're a great band. They definitely fall into the post-hardcore thing, but I think they're just writing some of the best music in like scene music right now, and they're
Yeah.
still just, I think, just so underrated. So
Dude,
Static Dress
people.
always have my heart.
Yeah. The people that I feel like know about Static Dress literally just gush over them.
Oh, they're
So
so good.
that's a good call. It's a good
It's
call.
insane.
So for underrated, he says He Is Legend.
Oh, okay. Are they
Which
post-hardcore?
I
They're
would
harder to
probably,
define, actually.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
I'd put him a little more on the metalcore side than post hardcore, but
Yeah, it
even
actually
then
just
they
probably
got some
depends on
weird.
the album. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. So, but I guess outside of I Am Hollywood, I don't know that they get the flowers they deserve for the rest of their
That
music.
is honestly
So,
the truth.
so I can understand why you put that. So,
Yep, great answer.
all right, appropriately rated. I
Yes.
have Finch
Oh, totally.
and I have Silverstein.
Oh, great answers.
So I think that
Two of
Finch
my
is
favorites.
appropriately rated because What It Is to Burn, everybody that listens to post hardcore will tell you that that's one of the greatest albums ever written.
Absolutely.
And then they'll tell you that Say Hello to Sunshine is a very misunderstood album.
Yep.
And then they'll say their last album sucks. It's universally agreed upon. Their
Oh,
three albums.
I wouldn't even
You know
say
what I mean?
universally agreed upon. Those are just facts at that point.
Yeah,
That's like a statement
exactly.
of
And
fact.
so that's
Yeah,
why I'm saying that, like, I think they're appropriately rated. I think
totally.
they are exactly where they're at. People that love them are always going to see them because of what it is to burn.
Oh, totally.
And if anyone talks crap on Say Hello to Sunshine, I'm still going to defend them, even though it's not my favorite album. You know what I mean? So,
Totally. Yeah.
and then Silverstein, I mean, you can't really say anything else. They're great.
Yeah.
Well known. I think they've done consistent, and I'm glad they are where they're at. So, and I'm going to see them in like 3 weeks with Thursday. So,
Yeah, that's gonna be a super fun show. I'm excited for that too.
yeah. So, all right, who do you have?
I had for appropriately rated Alexis on Fire. I love that band. They're great. And I'd say they're underrated in the United States, but in Canada, they're perfectly rated.
Yeah.
The one reason they don't like playing in the US is because they don't have nearly the following here. And so they'll play like
Is
a
that
couple shows, but then they play it in Canada and they're playing arenas and they're having like the biggest bands open for them. So
it's so they really don't have that. I would have assumed they just had a huge following here too, but they
it's
don't
okay.
really. Huh.
It's not nearly what it is in Canada, and they can make
I-
so much more money in Canada.
Dude, I love that band. Like,
I've never
absolutely
seen
love
them.
that band.
I'd kill to see them.
Oh, really? Dude, they're so
Yeah.
good live.
I
They're
I
so good.
I have loved that band since I was like in French class in 7th grade. Like I think of that one specific room in our junior high for that band because I just love them so much.
Yeah.
And I listen to that band all the time in that class.
Did you listen to
Alexis on
their
Fire.
recent album? I think it was last year, right?
Yeah, last year or the year before. It was pretty good. I wouldn't say it was
right.
like terrible. I wouldn't say it was amazing either. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Good little
And-
comeback album.
Yeah, I agree. So good call on that one. All right, overrated. This is where you and I are gonna fight.
Oh boy.
I've got Chiodos.
Holy hell. Holy hell. Are you serious?
And anything that Craig Owens has done, overrated, dude. It
You're
kills me.
saying anything he's done.
Anything
We're
he's
not
done.
even just naming the
Yeah.
bands. We're just
And
saying anything. The whole
the other,
resume.
yep. And the other one I'm going to do that I think is overrated is everything that Anthony Green has done.
You're
I'm
what's
going to piss
hilarious
off a
is
whole.
by just naming two singers, you've covered like 20 bands.
I know, right? I
Yeah.
know exactly.
Yeah.
So I used to
That's
like
crazy.
Circus Survive, dude. Like it's not necessarily Circus Survive that I think it's overrated. I think it's
I
Anthony
think it's
Green.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just think I felt like I only listened to Chiodos because everybody else was listening to Chiodos.
Okay, that's fair.
I never
They
liked
were
them.
big. Like
I know they were
it's
big.
yeah.
It's like you and Bayside. Like I
Yeah.
just didn't get it. I just don't
Fair.
get
And
Craig
and
Owens
if you
stuff.
don't like
So
his voice is so distinct, same with Anthony Green, it's gonna ruin any
it's
band
hard.
they're in. Yeah.
I know. It's hard. So
Yeah.
I know they're like one of your favorite bands, and so
It's okay.
I apologize. But
Because here's the thing, I love you, and so it's this like we're fighting, and I'm having all this internal conflict right now. You got to look past the differences. Yeah, don't
exactly.
go to bed angry. Yeah.
All right, who do you have?
So ironic enough, my overrated answer is Circus Survive.
Yes.
Like
Okay.
on my list.
Yeah.
I don't dislike Anthony Green, but I don't like him. Like we talked about this with Trevor one time. If Anthony Green Seosin is better than Cove Seosin.
Mm,
And I just don't like Anthony that much. But
yeah.
Circus Survive, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. Where it's like every song sounds like him reaching orgasm while somebody plays the crappiest riff you've ever heard. Like, and the production sucks, the music sucks. I
Yeah.
just don't get it. I've even tried, like, I bought Circus
That's fair.
Survive vinyl to be like, you know what, this is it, this is for me. And then I
Yeah.
sold it like a month later because I was like, I can't do this. Yeah.
So their first two albums,
Yeah.
I actually really enjoy. I can't listen to anything else past that.
And they have
Now
like a lot. I'm always
I don't- they
surprised
have
how
a
much
ton.
music they had. Yeah.
They put on one of the coolest shows I've ever seen, though.
Yes.
Because the ambient music with all the they were shooting like confetti and bubbles and
Yes.
the lights and stuff, like for a performance, it was very entertaining.
Yeah.
I just man, there's people that have these weird obsessions with Anthony Green and
People
he
are
can do no
weird about
wrong.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just, nah, dude, like it's cool, you know? So yeah. So Trevor appropriately rated had Thrice and Thursday. No
Okay.
arguments there. Overrated, and his exact quote was, and I'm going to take shit for this, Taking Back Sunday and Brand New. The
That's
brand
crazy.
new one, I can
I
at least wave
totally
and see
see
it,
brand
right?
new. Yeah.
But Taking Back Sunday, dude,
That's insane to me. I love that band.
you can't be in this music and not tell me that Cute Without an E
Oh yeah,
is
like
not one of the
formed
greatest
it.
anthems. Yeah, exactly.
Like I get when people say they don't sound good live anymore. Yeah, we all know that's not a
He's
secret.
like 40.
They've also never really sounded that great live, but
Yeah.
that doesn't matter. Like
I know.
that's not what sells the records. And brand
Yeah.
new, like very canceled band. I'm not defending Jesse Lacey at all. I still occasionally listen to brand new. And especially the first album, I think is great. But like you're comparing a band that had like one or two good albums to like Taking Back Sunday that just was pumping out bangers for years.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're not all quality after like the fourth. But yeah, that's crazy.
But they are. I
They're
don't know.
foundational. Yeah.
I guess if he wanted to say the same thing I did with like My Chemical Romance of like
Totally could.
In 2025, Taking Back Sunday is overrated. Okay. I might be able to get behind that. But a blanket statement that
Yeah.
Taking Back Sunday is overrated, like I hope that he like stubs his toe really hard or something.
Seriously.
Or gets stung by a bee. You know what I mean?
Just a piano falls on him. Because also, and it's funny saying he hates both Taking Back Sunday and Brand New, because that's like saying I hate both rivals. I hate the good and bad version of each other. Yeah. That's crazy.
It is crazy. Sorry, Trevor.
We love you though.
All right. Next up, hardcore.
Hell yeah.
Now, the problem with this genre is that there's so many obscure bands that you can say for underrated that it was kind of hard to pick. So I tried to stick with larger, more well-known bands in the hardcore genre just to make it relevant. So, but we'll start with underrated. You can go first.
Okay, I actually did a similar thing because there's 1,000 bands we could have named, but I
Yeah.
was like, what's like one people actually gonna know? I think Zulu is
Mm,
massively underrated. I'm a really
okay.
big fan, and their shows I've seen them a bunch of times are wild. I swear I've seen one person get taken out at every single Zulu show. But I think they have such a good message and they're so interesting, but also just like they could be playing so much bigger venues and they choose to play small
Yeah.
venues and they choose to just have wild shows. So, and I think the quality is insane.
I
Yeah,
think that
but
people that have
like
a
they're on the
problem,
rise right now.
I think that a lot of people that have a problem with Zulu don't, and this might get me in trouble,
Okay, I'm ready.
but I think a lot of people that have a problem with Zulu maybe don't fully understand what hardcore is.
Totally.
Like it was meant to be something that was out of the norm and
Yeah,
different and in your face about it. And that's
yeah,
what they're like. They're very in your face about what they are and what they
totally,
stand for. And it probably rubs people the wrong way. Their music, objectionably, if you didn't know who they were, you'd be like, yeah, this is a hardcore band. Like they're a great hardcore
totally.
band. Like this is good music. But I just think people get hung up in them, unfortunately. And it
Yeah.
probably, I think
Anytime
it's
I
a
see
great call,
people
dude.
that have a problem with Zulus, I was like, oh, so you don't know who Bad Brains is? Great, fantastic. Like,
Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
it's the
Yeah.
same thing in modern
Now,
day. Yeah.
the one complaint I'll have about Zulu is it's like, dude, you can write longer than a 30-second song with a sound clip at the end of it. Like, I
Dude,
promise you'll be okay if you write something longer than 30 seconds.
do you know what's insane? Is buying Zulu vinyl and knowing for a fact there's 14 minutes of music on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a good call though. So,
Thanks, dude.
do you have any other ones?
Nope, that was my one. But what's yours? I'm
Okay.
excited to hear.
My underrated ones are With Honor.
Oh, great answer.
I genuinely don't think With Honor gets the flowers they deserve.
Which is crazy because they're fantastic.
They're fantastic. They're fast. It's still aggressive. There's awesome gang vocal parts to it.
Yep.
They've been doing it a long time, but it's also very positive.
Hmm.
It's very good, positive hardcore. And I think that, yeah, I just don't think they really got, I know they're popular. I know people like them, but I don't know why they're not talked about more.
And
So
their new music's great too.
yeah, their last album was
Yeah,
awesome. So,
fantastic.
the other one I had was Restraining Order.
Oh, totally.
They're
I
so good.
adore that band.
Yeah.
Restraining Order rules.
They're so good, but
Yeah.
they get lost nowadays
Oh,
because they're
totally.
not chuggy breakdown fight
Yep.
hardcore, and I hate
Yeah.
that. I hate that
Right.
because
They're
they're
not like
talented.
they're not chuggy and they're not turnstile. So they're immediately getting lost in the sauce. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're so good, dude. When I saw them live, I was like, dang, this band like rips, but I can tell people here don't get it.
Yeah.
So I really want that Restraining Order shirt that says "Make Hardcore Fast Again."
Totally. Dude,
Yeah.
I love that band.
So
Restraining Order rules. Great answer.
yeah. All right. Appropriately rated. Who do you have?
For appropriately rated, I said Incendiary. I'm a
Dang, me
big
too.
fan of. Did you really?
Yeah,
Are we twins? Oh
I
my
think so.
gosh, dude, I love Incendiary because like I when I think of hardcore in general, I tend to love East Coast stuff just right away. I love their attitude. I love the style, and I feel like Incendiary is New York hardcore embodied because of his accent is really thick. They
Yeah.
really like classic hardcore stuff, and they get cherished very well, and I
Mhm.
love that. I think anytime I see people get stoked on Incendiary, it's like hell yeah, they deserve that.
Yep. So no, dude, great call. Um,
And same to
so
you.
yeah, I have Incendiary, same reason. I also have Mind Force for the same
Oh,
reasons
totally.
because
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
yeah.
And then I have Terror because
Oh,
they're the
great answer.
godfathers of hardcore right now, and
And they're so fun.
yeah, and they're doing a lot right. Like they just played that tour with Black Dahlia.
Yeah.
Like what a way, because like 15, 20 years ago, tours like that ain't happening, man. Like
Nope.
it's a fight fest,
Yeah.
but they
A
did it,
terror of
man.
any hardcore band will play with anybody, and I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So, all right, overrated. What do you got?
I said Kubla Khan.
Okay.
I uh I liked them when they first became a thing, however many years ago that was. And it's like, okay, I get it. It's just tough guy hardcore. That's every song's kind of the same. And then something happened with the internet where all of the sudden every freaking person, including Machine Gun Kelly, was like, "Oh, I love Kubla Khan," and I was like, "Yikes! That's the band you guys are dying on the hill for." I just think it's incredibly simplistic writing. I
Yeah.
think the fan base is annoying. I think it's and I've seen them live a couple times. It's never not fun. They've got great energy, but I don't know. It's just a little bit too
Dude,
bro for me and a little bit too boring.
absolutely. Every
Yeah.
single time I see like a social media clip of someone that is like the either one, dude, the like monkey see, monkey do one, or the like the number two,
They're
where
so
I
annoying.
just like, I can't do this, man.
Yeah.
I can't do
I
this.
made it. I made a video. So okay. This is some quick insight into Chris Nichols. Sometimes I will make videos for TikTok that are too mean, and I don't post them, but I make them just to get out of my system. And when the two thing became a meme, I made a video that was like, "How many videos into this a joke get terrible? Two." And I was like, and then I didn't click it because I don't want people to feel bad. But yeah,
Yeah,
like it's so annoying.
it's hard. It's rough. So, all right. I've got speed.
Okay,
Now,
that's crazy.
I know. And look, I like speed. I
Yeah.
like it's one of those bands that I do think you have to see live to really appreciate
Yeah.
it. They're incredible live because I saw
I've
them.
never seen him.
I saw them a couple months ago with Bitter End.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
that lineup's awesome.
yeah, it was, dude, it was sick. They're incredible performers. I just don't see, like, I don't have a problem with them. I just don't see anything special that's made them be as popular as they are.
And I
Like,
agree with that.
again, I've absolutely nothing against the band. I thought they were awesome. The music's fine. Like, beatdown's beatdown. You know what you're going to get with it.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
you know, I guess I don't fully understand the like popularity.
Yeah.
And
And
maybe
they have
I'm
it.
just missing something. Yeah, they do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like they got to deal with like, was it
Yeah,
Foot
who was it?
Locker or
Yeah,
something?
it was insane.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like respect. I just, just
Totally.
me personally, I don't really understand it. So
And it's crazy to think how young they like in their career they are and they're already overrated. Yeah.
I know. And I
Yeah.
feel that's in that. Cause again, like, it's not like their music sucks or they suck.
No, it's
you know,
it's
like
just
they're cool dudes.
Yeah.
Like, and the music's fine.
It is fine. Yeah.
I just don't know that they've earned it. Well,
Yeah.
maybe that's not the right way to put it. I don't even want to say that.
Not that they've earned it, but just like the like wildfire
Yeah,
that
it
got
just came
caused
out of
because they
nowhere.
used a flute was like I get it, it's different, and you guys aren't used to non-conventional instruments.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I completely agree with you on all this.
I don't know how to say this without coming off like an ass, but like,
Yeah.
again, I want to make it clear. I don't have any problems with them. I think
Totally.
they're great. I think their music's fine.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it. That's why I'm putting them there. So yeah, but all right. Trevor didn't want to touch hardcore because he says he's like, most of the bands I would pick are probably not even considered hardcore anyways. So
Okay, great.
all right, whatever, dude.
Okay, great.
Wuss. But
I know.
all right.
He was gonna say something shocking for each one.
Probably.
No.
Like he hates freaking Minor Threat or something.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. He hates a Youth of Today and Earth Crisis. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. We'd struggle being friends if you said that. So all right. Next one up, metalcore.
Yes.
So this was a fun one.
This was a fun one.
There's so many ways you can go with it.
Oh, totally.
You know?
It's such a big genre.
Yeah. I personally tried to stay as close to the real definition of metalcore as I could.
Okay.
Until we get to the overrated part. And then I think you know where this is going.
I'm so excited. Yeah. So excited.
All right. Underrated. Who do you have?
For underrated, just because I think this band has been underrated for over 20 years, I'm saying Zayo. Zayo, I think, is one of the best metalcore bands ever, and I don't think they will ever get the flowers they deserve. When Zayo played Salt Lake City 2 years ago, there was like 30 people there, and my jaw was on the floor. I mean, like, this band like invented every band you like, but I love Zayo. They're so cool.
They're like legitimately heavy.
Oh,
like it's just crazy. Hard music, dude.
Yeah, have you ever heard the phrase? I think I've even said this to you on your podcast, so I'm sorry to repeating myself. There's a phrase Rob Zombie said one time that I don't even know why bands write riffs because Black Sabbath wrote every good riff ever. Yeah. I feel like Zayo wrote every good breakdown ever, and every band has been copying them since.
Yeah,
like the breakdown for 5 Year Winter, I think changed metalcore, but yeah, like I think they've been around forever. And then you get to see them at like Furnace Fest, and the entire place erupts because you have all these people that consider them crazy together. So,
Yeah.
that's like an older one, and then a newer one that they're getting plenty of plays, but I just think they're so talented is Boundaries. I think Boundaries
Mm,
is so fun and so talented. And they are headlining tours, and that's awesome and everything. But I think they just have something so special that like a lot of bands in metalcore wish they could do right now. But Boundaries
yeah.
had it like right out the gate, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got Boundaries, but on a different.
Oh
I've them as
boy.
appropriately rated. So
Oh,
we'll get
okay.
there.
That scared me for a second
I
there.
know.
Yeah.
All right. Underrated. I have Catherine.
I don't know Catherine.
You don't
Oh
know
my gosh, I
Catherine?
do know Catherine. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
dude.
Okay.
That's a
Go
great
listen to the
answer.
first Catherine album and be like,
Yeah,
yeah, dude. All right, I'm
that's
wrong.
a great
You
answer.
incredible band, that first album,
Yes.
and they are so good live. I actually think the vocalist passed away.
Oh,
Maybe
dang.
that's part of why.
Yeah.
But
But
those
still,
first
though.
like their music's incredible.
Yeah.
The next one is The Human Abstract.
Oh my gosh, great answer.
Dude, the freaking
I
Crossing the
love the Human
Rubicon
Abstract. Yes.
was one of the coolest songs. The intro where it's like,
Yes, dude.
yeah, dude, the
Great
dude's got like
answer.
long dreads. He's like
Uh
spinning
huh.
around. Yeah, dude, they sound so good live.
Do
I
they?
can't believe I've ever seen them live, but I have seen them live.
Yeah,
It
seriously.
was unbelievable.
That's awesome.
Um,
Great answer.
the last one I have, and I know we're going to talk about Christcore, funny enough,
Yes.
but I could not put this band here. War of Ages.
Oh,
I think they are
absolutely
criminally
underrated.
underrated in metalcore.
Absolutely.
They are so good and so consistent, and nobody ever talks about them. Ever.
Totally.
Like
Dude,
All
War of Ages
Consuming
rules.
Fire. All Consuming Fire is one of the greatest metalcore songs ever written.
Totally.
It's amazing. So
Yeah. I think you can look at a lot of the bands that were similar to War of Ages and be like, War of Ages should have had their career. Like you look at like For Today or Phineas or whatever, and it's always like those bands got huge all of a sudden. It's like War of Ages was doing it before them and better than them. Yeah.
And what's cool about War of Ages is like they were metalcore, but like dude, they played with hardcore bands, like they played with metal bands, like they were just
they played with
everywhere.
everybody too. Yeah.
So
great band.
They're sick
Great
live.
answers.
They're great live. So let's see if Trevor. I don't remember if Trevor had anything for metalcore. Let's see.
Excited.
No, he didn't. He just said all the current metalcore and deathcore is overrated, and that's all he said.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
No one's saying he's wrong. Yeah.
So, okay. Appropriately rated metalcore. What do you have?
Appropriately rated, I have two answers. First one is The Devil Wears Prada. I love that band. I've been a fan for a very long time, but I feel like they've sort of hit the peak of where they're going to be in their career.
Yeah.
I don't think they're ever going to be as big as, a lot of other scene bands that got humongous. I think they're doing good at playing, venue like clubs and stuff and the occasional festival. Their music is so mid now, the new stuff.
Yeah.
But that's great. Like they appeal to a different generation that likes like the Bad Omens kind of stuff. But I feel like they've done a good job in their career of appealing to old heads and new kids, which is very hard to do. I don't know of hardly any bands where young kids are just as stoked as like 30-year-olds are when they announce tours,
Yeah. That's a great answer.
And then the other one I thought of, and I don't know why, but this one kept coming to mind. This band has been dead for a while, is The Color Morale. Do you remember them?
Oh, dude.
I really loved them. And I feel like they did what they needed to, and then like broke up.
Dude.
Like I the whole Possecore movement that was like, then We Came as Romans, that kind of stuff. It lasted a few years, but a lot of those bands kept going and the music just got so bad.
Yeah.
We Came as Romans is a great example.
Yeah.
But like I really liked The Color Morale. They were a lot of fun live. I met the singer one time. He was very nice and polite. And their music was really, really good. So
dude, I'm super happy that you said them.
Yeah.
They're like, I didn't have them on any of these lists, but they're genuinely like one of my favorite bands.
They were great. They were so good.
I listen to The Color Morale all the time. Their first three albums had like an emotional effect on me.
Dude,
like
you need
No Hope is unbelievable.
Oh, they put the first three albums on one vinyl together.
Oh,
like
really?
You need that, like a triple pack.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I have it. What killed me is that first album, I think, is my favorite one. Then he changed his vocals over the next couple, and then it was like, okay, but like the quality of No Hope is next level. It
And
was
like
so
the
good.
lyrical, like he's just a
Oh my
lyrical
gosh,
master.
he's a
It's
lyrical
really is.
master.
You listen to their first album, the like complexity in their riffs and like time changes and things like that.
It was wild.
Even though it's not like super heavy, like I wish people would listen to it more because like
Yeah,
musically, they were incredible.
they
So
came out swinging so hard back in
yeah,
the day. Yeah,
dude, I had great memories with them. Like I've met their singer a couple times too. He's a
he's
super
super
nice
nice.
guy.
Yeah, Garrett,
Yeah, like I stage dove and then got thrown back on stage and landed on the
nice.
speaker and like was laying on the ground and he picked me up and like put
Yeah,
his arm around me and gave me them. I just have really cool memories of
that's
seeing
cool. I love that.
Killer Morale.
They're a
So
great band. Yeah,
yeah.
I
All
heard
right.
rumor of them reuniting, and then it was like I think they also didn't want to do it. So
Well, they played. I think they played like a weekend of shows,
oh, they
and that
did.
was it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So, all right. Appropriately rated. I've got Earth Crisis
Okay.
because I think that they blew the lid off of metalcore.
Oh,
Right.
totally. They practically invented it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Harm's Way is another
Oh,
one
great answer.
because I think that them and like bands like Boundaries and Rip Mouth for War, but
Yeah,
a lot of bands like that I think were actually holding tight to what metalcore is.
totally.
You know, and so I respect that, and I think that Harm's Way gets a lot of love, and it's well deserved. So
I Harm's Way is up there for me. I adore that band.
yeah. So
Very
okay.
heavy.
Overrated.
Oh man. Okay. So I have 3.
Okay.
The first one, I don't know if this will affect you, but I said Avenged Sevenfold, and that is mainly because like I know for a lot of people that's like their gateway band into metalcore. I never
Yeah.
listened to them. I never liked them. So I tried recently to listen to it. I was like, this sucks so bad. I even tried like the old stuff, and I was like, it's really bad. I just have never gotten it. But like a lot of people love them. I've never
Yeah.
understood.
I get that. Their first album like was cool.
Yeah.
But I think they tried to take advantage of what that scene was and then turned
Totally.
completely into butt rock as fast as they could.
Totally.
You know?
You could argue they were the first to go from metalcore to butt rock.
Yeah. It's true. So,
I also said Beartooth. I think Beartooth is insanely overrated.
good answer.
I like the first, like when they first came out, I thought it was okay. And then just I think it sucks so bad now. And then the one that the kids love that I don't get the understanding of is Bill Murray. What on earth is that garbage?
Look, man,
they love it.
There's a couple
Everyone
Bill Murray
loves
songs.
it.
There's a couple Bill Murray songs that I'm like, all right,
that you mess with, that you vibe with.
Yeah.
I just can't get it.
His music videos on social media are freaking hilarious. Like I love it. That's great.
I just don't get it. And he's huge. Like I've seen so many videos where people are like, "Oh yeah, I cranked my hog to Bill Murray," and I'm like, you guys, someone please sit me down and explain.
Well, the understanding of this
times.
is that what was the logical progression leaving Attack Attack?
Right.
It's doing something like Bill Murray. So it's completely expected what's going on here. And I heard a song from them and I was like, from Bill Murray, and I was just like, dang, I know I shouldn't like this, but I kind of
loved it. But you loved it. Yeah.
Exactly. So I guess he's like a guilty pleasure. I don't know.
And he has a great sense of humor. While I don't love the music, I do think he's hilarious.
I don't know that I'd ever go like see him play, but although did you see the clip where he like brought out a girl playing a saxophone and stuff? Like, no. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Look, it seems like a good time. I don't know.
There you go. Ironically, 2 of my answers came from Attack Attack. I didn't even think about that.
Well, yeah, it's true.
Toss some Mice and Men in there too. Get the whole trifecta.
Yeah, that's true too. I never understood that one. I never understood. I guess I'll just start jumping into it.
Go for it. Yeah.
Look, I got a list. We can go on forever, but basically I put all the modern stuff, any of this like sleep, what are they? Sleep Token, Bad Omens, Spirit Box, like all of it, dude. Like cut me out. This is what happens when like corporate America gets a hold of something. Is it turns into this. It's not.
Totally, dude.
And I'm not just trying to be rude. Like it genuinely is just boring music. It's just not good. You know,
I tried Sleep Token so hard. I tried to understand what everyone was into it. And there's a lot of bands where it's like, it's not for me, but I get it. I do not get the appeal of Sleep Token. Yeah. What's metal about it?
I know. And I hear all these stories of their concerts of like people being mad that someone's like pushing to the front or like trying to
someone tried moshing. Yeah.
Yeah. And people are getting mad about it. And I'm like, look, this isn't this
Yeah.
isn't this isn't metalcore.
This
Like
isn't for
I don't know
you.
what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's crazy. So
Very weird.
I've also got I don't know if you would categorize this as metalcore, but
Okay.
I didn't know where else to put this, but Slipknot.
Oh, yeah. That there
I've
wouldn't be with
never
any of our other categories,
yeah.
but you are definitely not a fan.
Never understood it. Never even
Yeah.
really liked the music. Just
Yeah.
never, I don't know. Just never got the appeal. So
That's
maybe this
crazy
is
to me.
more of an
But
episode of just me and you talking about stuff we don't like and just branding it as like being overrated. But
we're like,
that's
we
what it
promise
is.
we'll talk about
Like,
underrated stuff, guys. And
yeah.
then it's
I mean,
this. Yeah.
the problem with metalcore, like Moths to Flames, never understood that. Not for me.
Yeah, that's its own kind of brand.
I think the other thing is I've got a lot of bands that are metalcore that I'm going to talk crap on under the Christcore one. So I guess we can wait for that. But
yeah, I'm excited to hear that.
that's really all I've got for metalcore.
Okay.
So
some good takes though.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess. So next one up, deathcore.
Yeah, man.
I think it's my turn to go first.
Go for it.
So underrated. I've got two of them.
Okay.
First one is Sea of Treachery.
Oh, great band.
Criminally underrated.
Great band.
Unbelievable. And they even just released a new song.
They did.
And it's awesome. It's great.
Yeah.
It's exactly what metalcore should sound like.
Dude, I love Sea of Treachery.
It's As I Lay Dying without the trying to off your wife. It's great. I mean, it's
which
great.
We could all get behind. Yeah.
Exactly.
Dude, that is so good.
I've actually heard that the dudes from Sea Treachery are like legit guys. Like they were cool,
I've DM'd with them. They were because like they followed me back on TikTok and I was like,
That's
you
sick.
guys have no idea how cool this is to me that Sea of Treachery is following me. Yeah.
No, it's amazing. So
they're great.
The other band I have is Here Comes the Kraken.
I
from Mexico.
love that band.
Yeah, dude. So good.
Love Here Comes the Kraken.
You never hear anyone talk about it. I've seen in my entire life, there's 3 people that I've ever talked to that knew who Here Comes the Kraken was. It's you, it's Trevor, and it's some random person on the internet that I don't even know who he is in real life, but he knew who Here the Kraken was.
That is so funny.
They were good.
That band rules,
but they were awesome.
Yeah. It's not your thing. But yeah, that band rules. They did a vinyl pressing. I think we actually talked about this on Pit Therapy one time. That was so cool. I had it. I unfortunately had to sell it, but like, and it's the same thing. They only made like 200 copies of one record. And it was like, they were struggling to get 200 sold. But yeah.
It's crazy.
I love
They're so
Here
good.
Comes the Kraken. They're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Great answers.
All right, man. Who do you got?
My underrated ones, I don't think you're gonna know any of them because I'm a huge deathcore fan, and one thing that's really cool right now, for those listening that do not know, there is a wave of deathcore happening right now of younger kids that are trying to sound so not like Lorna Shore and so not like what's popular, and they all want to sound like MySpace bands. So there's this whole bunch of younger kids that are making some of the best deathcore I've ever heard. So some of those bands that I really like are like Girl of Glass, Lilith's Demise, Reverent, Peacemaker, Victim Blamed. They're all really good. And they're like 17 making some of the best deathcore I've ever heard in my life. And they're bringing back like the bass drops and just insanely violent lyrics. They're not trying to sound cool or like octane metal. They just want to be crazy. And I love it.
Yeah, there's a local band down here in Dallas you should check out called Six Shots
from Dallas. I love that band.
Yeah, dude.
They're
so I just saw
great,
them like a couple weeks ago.
Did you really?
Yeah, a bunch of like young kids too. Again, look, I'm not a deathcore guy, but like I sat there and watched that and I'm like, I took my brother-in-law and I looked at him and I'm like, dude, what year is this?
Seriously.
Like I seriously felt like I was 16, 17.
I love Six Shots from Dallas.
Dude, they were
great band.
They sounded real good. They knew what they were doing. And funniest thing ever, I told this Trevor last week. They like finished their set and were acting like they were unplugging and all this crap. And then like 2 minutes later, the vocalist grabs the mic. He's like, F it. And they just throw this like ridiculous breakdown. And people are like running from the merch table and just swinging on people. It was, dude, I was laughing so hard. I was like,
I love that.
This is incredible. This is incredible.
Man, the new wave of deathcore stuff is insane to me. I love it.
Yeah.
And it's all underrated. It's all so good.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I agree with that. So, all right. Appropriately rated. I have Acacia Strain.
Okay. I had that as well.
I think they're great. I think they've carried deathcore through some really bad years.
And consistent as hell.
Yeah.
Every Acacia Strain record's nuts.
Yep. And then I also had Suicide Silence. I think was appropriately
Okay.
rated because I mean they basically I feel like cemented this genre in alternative music is my
Yeah,
opinion. So I do think that like even that Six Shots from Dallas, like they covered a Suicide Silence song and did
of
it
course. Yeah.
justice. And it was like bunch of 17-year-olds that are getting into real deathcore. Like
Yeah,
that's who they're covering, you know? And
totally.
so you gotta like, I think that they are exactly where they needed to be. So I think it's awesome.
Great answer. Um, I do think Suicide Silence, everything they've had since Mitch died has been truly terrible. But
That's fine.
I mean, I don't like. It's not like a hot take. I don't think anybody's disagreeing very
Yeah,
much that new Suicide Silence sucks. But whatever.
that's fine.
Um, I also had the Acacia strain for properly rated because they're just the bomb. But I also put Carnifex for appropriately rated
Ah,
because I
okay.
think of that like that group of deathcore. We're talking Whitechapel, Suicide Silence, that kind of stuff. That was very like scene heavy, kids with 00 size gauges getting into deathcore. They're the only one that like stayed deathcore to me. A
Yeah.
lot of those bands, tried doing other genres or maybe trying to look different or like, no, we're serious now. We like wearing Hollister and we like jeans. Carnifex is always like, no, we like breakdowns and we like gauges, and they're just like standard deathcore to me,
Yeah.
and they're great. I really love that band.
That's sick. That's sick. The only ones that Trevor had as appropriately rated were All Shall Perish,
Oh, great answer.
and which they might even be on the underrated side of it,
Totally,
honestly.
they could do either,
Yeah. And then
and
he
they're the
also
OGs.
he had Suicide Silence. So yeah, those two.
Got to give
But,
the flowers to Suicide Silence.
all right. Overrated.
Yes.
Um, I put Bring Me the Horizon.
Are you serious? I am
I
walking off of this. I am walking out. I'm gonna
there's
flip this table.
dude,
Oh
come
my
on. You
gosh.
know that there's so many better deathcore bands out there than Bring Me the Horizon. So many.
That's insane to me.
I I never really liked deathcore. Like I've seen the Acacia
Yeah.
Strain a whole bunch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've seen a lot of deathcore bands because that's what was
Yeah.
popular at the time,
And they
right?
played with a lot of bands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I never, even when I was lying to myself to like deathcore, I could never lie to myself enough to like Bring Me the Horizon. So
That's
I just
crazy.
don't get it. I
Okay.
don't get it. So
Okay. Well, let me tell you something. I take that personal. I take it personal,
dude, out of all the
and
shots I've taken to you today, like this is
that's
the
the
one
one that's all that
that
literally you can say most overrated band is First Grade Fight Club, and I'd be like, yeah, agreed. But like, especially because Deathcore Bring Me is like where I find them to be the best of their career.
huh. Well,
Fair.
okay.
Okay. Okay. Agree to
I want
disagree, disagree to disagree. Either one.
we don't have to do that, man. We can just awkwardly push on.
Yeah. Well, we can just call it quits here
We
because
go,
I don't know
okay.
if yeah. Do you have any more for overrated?
I was gonna say a mirror, but I think I pushed your buttons enough.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. We're not only done with this episode, we're done as friends. We're done as family. Like we're just done. Yeah. Oh my hell.
We're good, man. What do you got?
Well, my answers for overrated. I didn't have to think too hard. Slaughter to Prevail and Lorna
Yeah.
Shore.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Both bands that I did like when they first started, and then I don't know what the hell happened. Now they just make shit from a butt. Like I don't even know what's going on. It's
So
just
bad.
fart music. It's fart noises.
Are
I
they
don't
the
even get
ones
it.
that like the music like stops and you just hear like
Uh-huh.
yeah, dude.
Both of them. I think both bands have songs that like stop and then it's like goblin noises and you're
Yeah,
like, this isn't good. I don't know why you guys think this is cool. And then because of that, you have all these bands right now that are like the octane metal bands that try to do the pissing contest of
yeah,
like, I can make cool noises with my mouth
yeah.
too.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's so annoying.
I hate it.
And they've ruined the like really slow like breakdown where it like pauses.
Totally.
Like they completely ruined it. It used to be cool. It used to be gnarly in the pit. Now it's
Yeah.
overdone and cheesy and stupid.
Seriously.
So,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
not into it.
Good calls.
Thanks,
So,
pal.
all right. We could if we're still friends, we can keep moving on.
That's a good question. Are we still friends? I don't know. We're going to
All
see.
right, your
Just keep
thoughts
going.
on Kyle? Overrated, underrated?
I I would say properly rated. Yeah.
Properly rated. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
just kidding. No, dude, let's keep going.
All right. This was a fun one. Because I had to do a little digging because I just have never really
Yeah,
thought
this
about
is one
this.
I actually am not super familiar with myself, so I had to dig a little bit too.
Easy core. So
Yeah.
what do you have as underrated?
So the only easy core band I could think of that's underrated, there's a band called We Were Sharks I really like.
Okay.
They're like older too. They're like in their 30s and 40s making easy core. But they're great though. Like they're
Still live
super
with their
fun.
parents or something?
They
Like,
still live with their parents. Yeah, they can't get out of their hometown. They love pizza. Yeah, dude. I don't know a ton of easy core. I'll be honest, but that's the only one I was like, oh, I think they could be getting more plays and stuff.
okay. It's cool. So me and Trevor actually both kind of agreed on this one. It's
Okay.
a stupid call. I have two of them. The first one is like, oh, well, duh. But we believe that 4 Year Strong is still technically underrated.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, they're so good and they're so
Yeah.
musically talented. And
They're
like,
very talented.
Like, I've seen them a couple times since I moved to Dallas, and they are not even close to filling up venues. And it blows my mind because they're magical. They're so good.
They're great. Yeah.
You know?
4 Year Strong rules.
But I just don't think they're as big as they should be. So,
yeah.
The other one I have is this band called Vera.
I don't know Vera.
Veara. They were, I don't know that they're really making music anymore, but man, they were cool.
Yeah.
And like right there in the hay of easy core and stuff.
The heyday. Yeah.
Yeah. But they were awesome. They had really great music. And I listened to both their albums and they just never went anywhere. And I never understood why.
Interesting.
So,
yeah.
You should check them out. They're cool.
I will. Vera.
So, all right. Appropriately rated.
I'll go first just because I said 4 Year Strong for this.
Okay.
I love 4 Year Strong. I think it's great. I actually do agree though. They like, when I've seen them live, they don't fill up the venue. And it's insane because you're like, this is 4 Year Strong we're talking about. Like, this is like the freaking funnest band. Because I will, the thing about 4 Year Strong that I like more than other easy core bands is they look like they're having fun and the music is fun.
Yeah.
Like, not to spoil anything, but a lot of times lately you see videos of A Day to Remember, and they on this last tour they did the Kelly Clarkson cover, and Jeremy McKinnon looked like he was tearing toenails out when he said it, because he's like, well, we're gonna play Since You've Been Gone because you guys won't stop asking for it, and they play it and it's like,
That's
okay,
stupid.
I think you hate your job, but like you can just say that. But yeah, 4 Year Strong, they look like they're having a fun time. The music's so fun, and their new album, their consistency on their new album was fantastic.
Their last two albums, like they've gotten so like. They're kind of like Thrice to me, where their sound has kind of matured.
Absolutely. But it's still like, it still has a
really
stamp of approval on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, it's a great call. So for appropriately rated, do you know who Belmont is?
Of course.
Do you like Belmont?
I have seen Belmont. I didn't even think to put them in there. That's hilarious.
They're tight.
Yeah. And they are easy core. They're pop punk with breakdowns. Yeah.
Yeah. I have unfortunately not been able to see them.
Okay.
My son, like his favorite song is Bowser's Castle. He knows like every word.
That is so cute. I love that. Yeah.
So they're legit. And I think for an easy core band, I think they're doing what they can do. Yeah. You know, like I don't think
like
they're
them because they also like, they try other stuff.
Yeah.
They're not just trying to make the same song over and over again.
Yeah. I was like trying to explain to Trevor what that album that has Bowser's Castle on it, what it sounds like. And I'm like, imagine Linkin Park like was a pop punk band.
Oh, totally.
And he's like,
great way to say it.
Interesting, but it's cool. Like I'm not a huge fan of that stuff, but Pain Now with like the turntable, I'm like, dude, this is actually like dope. So
yeah. I saw Belmont with Caspian. I'm sorry, not Caspian. Caspian's been broken up for years. Damn it. What's the other band's name? Anyway, and then Tiny Moving Parts too. It was a great show.
Cool.
Yeah.
I know they're on tour right now with This Wildlife.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And they're cool. They're like cool acoustic-y type band. They're cool. So all right. Overrated. What do you have?
I put, of course, A Day to Remember. I like A Day to Remember, but what they've turned into and like what that fan base has turned into, it's like, I'm good without ever hearing this again in my life. And I also really thought Chunk No Captain Chunk was really overrated.
Yeah.
I've never understood why people like that band. Yeah. I tried so hard when it was in the Neon Monster merch days to get it, and I still don't get it.
Yeah, we have the exact same ones. So I agree with everything you said. So maybe that makes up for the deathcore section.
There you go. We can still be friends. Yeah. We can still be friends.
So cool. All right.
Yeah, man. Easy
Good
core.
one. Yeah, I think it's cool. So the next one, Gent.
Gent, dude.
I don't really know much about
That's
Gent
okay.
until I
Yeah.
started thinking about it. I was like, wait, maybe I do know some
Yeah.
Gent bands. So I'll go first on this one.
Okay.
Underrated, Within the Ruins, if you can consider them Gent.
Oh, great answer.
I don't know. Does that, or do they fall into
Sure.
that, or are
Why
they a
not?
little? Are they
Sure.
okay? All right.
Yeah.
Within
Because
the Ruins,
they're like chuggy and yeah, they're a
weird
great band
riffs
too. Yeah.
and
They
weird
they do
stuff.
like video game noises. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Great band.
the other one I have is Glass Cloud.
Oh,
Dude,
I love Glass Cloud. That band
so
was
good.
so good.
They were so good and not around long enough.
No, they only had like what, the album? They had like
I
one
think
album.
so. I think
Yeah,
so.
it was
But
so good.
dude, insane. Like
Yeah.
absolutely insane watching them. So
Oh,
yeah.
seriously, great answers.
Yeah. All
The
right.
guitarist of Glass Cloud, he was in Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza,
Right.
and now he plays in Amur. And it's so funny
Oh,
because
really?
like Amur's just like chugs and stuff, which is great
Uh,
for Amur. But it's funny to be like, you used to have the craziest like shredding riffs ever, and now you just play open notes. Yeah,
yeah. The
it's crazy.
vocalist was the guy from Sky It's Airplane, right?
Yep.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
he
man.
sounds so much better in Glass Cloud because it's
Absolutely.
angry and he did it.
Yeah.
Like he pulled it off. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Glass Cloud rules. Great answers, dude. My answer for underrated, there's this band called Sixth, Sikth, that they were doing gent right when it became a thing. They've been doing it for a very long time. Their vocalist has these insanely long ginger dreads, and he sounds a little bit weird, which is why people get turned off right away. His vocals
Uh-huh.
are not like everybody else's, but I love it. They're very weird, very exciting, and just like the instrumentals are next level. So yeah, sick. They're very into like neon skeletons.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Never heard of him. I'll check him out
Yeah,
though.
they're great. Sick, they're great.
All right, appropriately rated.
Yeah.
I have Era.
Okay.
Not a fan of them, but
Yeah.
I think they put Gent on the map for people. Like I don't
Mhm.
know that people were going to be like, "Oh yeah, I know what Gent is," if it wasn't for them. So
Yeah.
I do think they kind of fell off the like. I think they fell into what like metalcore did of just being like kind of generic-y, and it sucks.
Totally.
But their first
Totally.
couple albums were cool and at
Yeah.
least introduced me into it. So I think they're appropriately rated in Gen. I think they
Absolutely.
did what they needed to do. Um,
Yeah.
the other one I have is After the Burial.
Oh, that's who I have.
Yeah, sick band, dude.
Yeah.
They're
After the Burial is who I have for appropriately rated.
really okay. Dude, see, we're
I love
more
After
alike
the
than you
Burial.
think.
Yeah. See, so there's not so many differences, Kyle.
Yeah.
After the Burial rules.
The album Evergreen, dude,
Oh yeah. Great record.
wild. So
They're an insanely consistent band.
yeah,
From like Rare Form, their early days, to Wolves Within, they just were making cool stuff. I've seen them a bunch of times live. They're really fun live.
cool.
They had a very weird story with their guitarist before he died, so they made the news for not good reasons. Um, their guitarist went crazy. Like he lost touch with reality and went schizophrenic and
Dang,
went like into the desert saying that people were trying to eat him, and then he died. So
that's sad, man.
yeah.
It's way
Yeah,
messed
so
up.
but weirdly enough, do you ever have a band that you've seen tons of times live, but you've never intended to see them?
Yeah.
That's who Era is for me. I've seen Era so many times.
Oh,
And I've
really?
never chosen to see Era.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've probably seen them like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, I've never seen
They
them.
just are always playing with bands, and so it's like, oh great, Era's here. Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, I mean,
I
there's
did meet
worse.
the guy though one time. I met the guy from Era, and I just want to talk about Texas in July, and he was really nice. So yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Overrated. I honestly don't know enough about
Okay.
like Gent to say. I know I've heard songs of Periphery, and it just like it just sounded too
Yeah.
mainstreamy for me.
I mean,
you know?
a Periphery's a pretty good answer for overrated.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I said Animals as Leaders is
Oh, that's
insanely
fair.
overrated.
Yeah.
I also just don't like instrumental music very much, so it's never been for me. But people love that band, and I don't get it. Why?
Yeah. That's fair.
The guy's big on YouTube. I guess that's a big thing.
Yeah. I honestly don't know that I think I've listened to a couple songs that have just been like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Which is great if people like it. I just don't like it. I don't like instrumental music. I think Polyphia is garbage. I like a lot of these instrumental bands people love. I just don't get into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can get that. So, all right. Christ Core.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to hear some of these takes of yours
I don't know why you added this one, but here we are. Maybe because
because
it's
I
like all we listen
love
to. Like
Christcore.
it's like all we listened to for like 10 years. So
Exactly. Yeah.
for underrated,
Yeah.
like I just put all the traditional hardcore bands from Facedown. Namely being
Just the face down
it's
records.
seriously
Love
though. Like
it.
you think Facedown, nobody thinks of like Call to Preserve,
No.
Dynasty,
No.
Jesus Wept, Seven Star, X Disciple X, X
Right.
Looking Forward X. Like no one thinks of those
Right.
bands, but they're like
They
it's
were
some of the
so good.
greatest Christian hardcore that you'll like ever
Dude,
listen to. And
seriously.
dude, nobody knows them. Like no one ever talks about them. So stupid. Whether
Yeah.
Christian or not, dude, like you can't listen to Call to Preserve or Dynasty and tell me that that's bad hardcore. It's
Oh yeah, or
incredible.
like Seventh Star, great answer for like this music rules. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple others not using just face down as a
The face
scapegoat,
down, yeah.
but Forevermore,
Mm,
amazing
great
band,
band.
dude.
Great band.
The Overseer,
Ooh, I don't think I know that one.
you should check them out. To me,
The
the Overseer,
Overseer.
yeah, they are what Under Oath should have become.
Okay.
It's
I'm into that.
very Lost in the Sound of Separation ish type
Okay.
music. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And then Wolves at the Gate. Wolves at the
Oh,
Gate
great
is one
band.
of my all-time favorite bands, dude. They're
Great
so
band.
good. And if you're a Christian into this music, like there's very few bands that I think get Christian music as well as they do. So
Absolutely. Wolves of the Gate is such a good like youth worship band
yeah,
that like get kids into heavy music.
yeah,
Yeah, they're a great gateway band for like Christian kids. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Dude,
So
great answers. I love Wolves at the Gate. I only put one for this because same thing. I could name 1,000 that nobody knows, but like the one I think is criminally underrated is a band called The Great Commission.
oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they were really into like gang vocals and
Uh-huh.
breakdowns about praying, but like I love them.
Yeah,
I think
dude.
Great Commission's the bomb. Like that band's so cool. And just massively should be getting recognized along with all these other great bands, but never do.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. So
Great band.
appropriately rated, I have Sleeping Giant,
Great.
No Innocent Victim,
Oh, excellent.
Strong Arm,
Okay.
Stretch Armstrong, and Impending
Yes.
Doom. I think that
Man, all kinds of goodies.
I think all those are bands that have gotten the flowers that they deserve for their music,
Mhm.
regardless of being Christian or not. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And those bands, man, the amount of hits those ones put out, holy hell.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's rumors that Strong Arms playing Furnace Fest this year. Them in Advent. There's
Oh,
rumors
that's
that
right.
them and
Yeah, it was
Advent
like
are
in
playing.
the hashtags or whatever,
Hashtags.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
If that
Dang,
happens, there's a
dude.
good chance I'm going again. So
Seriously. Yeah. Did you see that the Chariot confirmed they're not playing?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
stupid.
I
Grow
know.
up. Grow up and play.
I
Yeah.
know. You're going to pay you so much money. Just be
Oh,
nice to each other for an hour.
right.
Yeah. I only put one band for this. I said A Plea for Purging
Oh, heck yeah.
because I think Plea is not only just one of the best Christcore bands, but like every Christian metal kid liked A Plea for Purging.
Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah.
like what brought us all together regularly
Yep.
was A Plea for Purging.
And
And that band rules.
yeah, there's like obviously there's a lot of hate on Christian music in the scene, but there's a few bands that I think everyone gives a pass to, and I think Please
Yeah.
one of them because
Absolutely.
they were very real about. I mean, they had songs that were talking crap on the church, you know, like
it was everywhere. They weren't just always Jesus rules.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
all over the place. Yeah.
And I think people respected that. You might not liked it necessarily, but at least you respected it, and you couldn't deny that their music ruled. So
Right.
So
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Great band.
Good call. Good call. All right, overrated. Me and Trevor agreed on this one for today.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Next one I have is Fit for a King.
Okay.
Yeah.
I barely consider them Christcore. They were at first.
I think because I was like looking up a bunch of like Christian hardcore playlists and things like that just to try and like refresh my memory on a lot of these. But like what frustrated me the most was that like, and I'm not necessarily saying that these bands are overrated. I'm just saying that people didn't do their due diligence with Christian metal or whatever and only paid attention to like the Devil Wears Prada and August Burns Red.
Totally.
And bands
Totally.
like Fit for King and For Today's. It's like there was so much more. There's like there's like all these like Great Commission's a great one. Like Those Who Fear.
Yeah.
what are some? What's the one? Saving Grace from like Australia. Like there's all
Saving
these like
Grace rules
sick
for all
bands.
eternity. Great band.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but everyone's just like, oh, the Devil Wears Prada, Norma Jean. You know, it's like, nah, come on,
Right.
guys. There was way
And
more.
he, and
So,
like and For Today and Fit for a King are such good answers because it was like not even where is it not great Christian music? It's just the most like generic. Every song sounds the exact same.
yeah, you could
Yeah.
put on a For Today song from any of their albums, and no one would
They
be
all
able to know
sound the
what album they
same.
came from.
They all sound the
Yeah,
same.
yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
Every breakdown's the same. He's a weird dude. They're both weird guys. I for overrated, this is I don't think a hot take. I said Memphis Mayfire. Like
Are they
I think
Christian?
they started off Christian. Uh
Okay.
and then they leaned into like we're Christian inspired as time went on.
Uh,
Um but like I find them to when they started off cool and then just got so annoying so fast.
dude, their original
They
5-song EP,
oh
I still listen
flawless.
to.
Flawless. I really like the first record. The first one's really good. That EP
So
is
good.
great. And then after that, it's just like, okay, so you guys just like wanted to be Abercrombie and Fitch models that
Exactly.
played mid breakdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's when they brought in that other vocalist. He was just like,
totally.
nah, dude, not me.
Yeah, man, I'm not into it anymore.
There's another band, I guess, that started that way was like Emerosa. Like
Oh, totally.
their first EP was like a Christian band.
Yeah,
Here's some other deep cuts, dude. Like Here I Come Falling.
I don't know that one.
Dude, they're sick. It's like
Here I
they're like
Come
old
Falling.
school,
Great
like
name.
MySpace, like
Okay.
metalcore, post hardcore type
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
Graceful, which actually
Oh, A
had
Graceful Rules.
the guy from
The
Like
guy
Moss of
from Like
Flames.
Mouse of Flames, who
Yeah,
was also
yeah,
in Omarosa.
yeah. But a Graceful was sick. So
A Graceful Rules.
Blessed by a Broken Heart,
Oh, dude.
incredible band.
The weirdest
So,
one of all.
dude,
But yeah,
yeah, they were.
that's
I saw
great.
them.
There's a lot of great Christian bands.
Scream the Prayer, dude. Bring back Scream the Prayer, and I think we would all be happy.
I really wish you and Trevor came with me to Furnace Fest a couple years ago because it was so many Christian straight edge bands.
Yeah.
And it was like a bunch of bummed out emo kids that it was just like Christcore kids everywhere. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that's sick though. So,
Yeah,
all
man.
right.
Couple more.
Straight edge.
Yep.
Do you want to go?
Sure. My answer is easy. I think underrated is World of Pleasure. World of Pleasure is
Good
one of my
one.
favorite straight edge bands. They only have like 8 songs, but I just think they're so good at it. They're so talented. They're so cool. Vegan straight edge too. And the vocalist Jess is the love of my life. And I met her and I was quite normal about it. So that's
Nice.
good.
Well,
Yeah.
good for you.
Thanks.
They're sick bands, so respect. Underrated, I've got Good Clean Fun.
Oh, totally, dude.
Dude, they're great. And like, dude,
great.
like you can poke fun at hardcore and still be amazing.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's them.
that is them.
Yeah. The other
Great
one,
answer.
and it's only like one album, and I actually think you know this band, but Eco Strike.
Yes.
So good.
Eco Strike rules.
So good. And I don't know. I wish there were
Short-lived,
more environmentally.
but holy hell.
Yeah, I wish there were more environmentally focused, straight edge, vegan type bands out there because causes I care about. So,
and dude, they're so good. Eco Strike. I only discovered them like 2 years ago or whatever. They're great.
Yeah, they're sick. So, all right, what do you have for appropriately rated?
Appropriately rated. First one is No Cure. Just because I adore that band and they're probably one of the better known straight edge bands right now of like bands currently doing it. But I think they're appropriately rated because they in the past like 2 weeks had this giant rise in everything with their new album.
Yeah.
Like they're up to like hundreds of thousands of monthly listeners on Spotify. Sick. Which is crazy. They're playing so many tours. They're the nicest people. They've always been so nice to me. They're homies. Yeah. And they're great. They're super talented.
No, that's...
And then...
go ahead.
I was just going to say the other band that's a callback that I think is so important, but, you know, they do get talked about is Black My Heart. Black My Heart was super fun straight edge band that, like, you know, you have, like, what's the guy's name from Knocked Loose? Brian Garris. Mm-hmm. Like, doing interviews being like, oh, yeah, I try to sound like Black My Heart when I do vocals kind of thing. Yeah.
That's sick. No, good call out on those. My appropriately rated ones are just easy, just the typical Earth Crisis, Minor Threat, Youth for Today, Have Heart. I just think that they're appropriately rated because they're amazing and everyone knows they're amazing and they deserve all the credit they get. So
absolutely.
All right,
Great
overrated.
answers.
What do you have,
I hope I don't piss anyone off. I said Weapon X.
dude? So did I.
Did you? Okay. Like, I get it. It's cool. But it's cool that it's the guy from Knock Loose's brother. That's fantastic. But like, I see so many people online that are starting to claim Edge, and the only straight edge band they listen to is
Yeah.
Weapon X. And it's like the music's like just meh at best. And
Yeah.
like the it doesn't sound good. But
Yeah.
like they're on every FYA, they're on every freaking like smaller hardcore fest, and people just lose their minds over it. And it's like, you guys, I don't know if this is the only straight edge band you've ever heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, dude. Yeah. First of all, when we get into mine, Trevor said the most overrated straight edge bands are all the bands that sold out, and he's right. Screw you guys.
Strife.
Yeah. Honestly,
That's
though,
funny.
what I've got, I have X Weapon X, and I also, in the same vein, again, it's nothing wrong with this band, and there's really
Yeah.
nothing wrong with X Weapon X either, right? They're kind of
No,
like
it's
what
not
I
the
was
band's
saying.
fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inclination too.
Yeah.
I just like it's good music. Them and X Weapon X. There's like this little group of straight edge bands that all sound the same.
Yeah. Agreed.
And like
They sound
everybody,
identical.
like that's their identity, or just those. And who might have talked? Like I swear, Earth Crisis is like 25% of my identity, right? But I again, nothing wrong with those guys, nothing wrong with their music, nothing wrong with any of that. Just don't understand, I guess, necessarily
Yeah.
the like attachment to them. So the other band I'm going to put is Orthodox. It's the same reason.
Oh, okay.
I don't get them. So
Every song's kind of the same with Orthodox. Yeah.
Yeah. I respect that they come out and they put on incredible shows. They're great live.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Their sets are aggressive and mean, and I respect that.
Yeah.
But man, they just like everybody gushes over them, and they're just all right to me, you know?
It's good. Yeah, but
Yeah. The last
it's all
one's
kind of the
Life
same.
Ruiner. Suck it, Life Ruiner. Those guys were like bad dudes. So
Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
I'm pretty sure
I
they
love
sold
the
out, like,
music,
right
but
hard,
I'm not looking to hang. You know, they 100% did. Yeah.
So I just threw that one in as a joke, but seriously though.
Life Ruiner, great band musically. No, I agree though with like Inclination 2 and Weapon X. The reason I don't love it is because they like get a following off of a gimmick. They get a following because they're connected to a very large band, and it's like, okay, but if your music was better or sounded different,
there was like a post on Reddit that was like, "What's your favorite straight edge band?" And I saw these people saying like X Weapon X, and like not enough people saying like,
yeah,
some of these like real classic. Because what, like, I get and maybe it's a modern thing, but like if you look back at the history of straight edge bands, like a lot of it is very like traditional hardcore. It's very fast.
totally. Yeah,
There's the whole youth crew movement. There's the whole like posse straight edge stuff. Like there's this whole culture around straight edge music, and it's like you're gonna attach to X Weapon X and Inclination. Like they're cool bands. Like that's awesome. You know, but like, man, if you're gonna claim it, like go learn about it because there's amazing stuff.
literally.
You know?
It's like going to Italy and you just want to eat Olive Garden. Yeah, it's there and it's food.
Yeah.
But like there's so many better options.
Yeah. So it's
Anyway.
an interesting one.
Yeah.
So all right, last one, melodic hardcore. I'm actually happy we ended on this. So I've said this.
This is the one I know like the least about.
Really? I've said this multiple times on this podcast. I'm a huge sucker for melodic music, melodic hardcore,
Yes, you are.
melodic metalcore.
Yes, you are.
Huge sucker for it. So I actually really liked doing this one.
Okay,
so
good. You start us off then. Yeah.
Yeah. Underrated. It's a newer band, Heavy Hex. I think they're underrated right now.
I don't know them.
I think they're going to get massive. They're so good.
Heavy Hex.
Yeah. It's Have Heart in 2025. It's amazing.
Okay. I'm into that.
It's so good. 100th. I Will Die on This Hill.
Classic.
Everybody hates 100th. I love 100th. I like their new music. Y'all can suck it. Their new stuff's good too. So
that is crazy to say their new stuff is good too, but I can respect you for being willing to say it.
To the Wind.
I don't know To the Wind.
You got a lot of melodic hardcore you got to listen to.
I do. I don't listen to a lot of it.
Look, dude, I got a bunch. I'm going to name it off. Saints Never Surrender.
Okay.
Modern Life is War.
Yes.
Verse. Sinking Ships. Final Fight. And Another Breath.
Oh my gosh. You named every melodic hardcore band.
Dude, I probably did, and they're all great.
Yeah.
I love melodic. There's obviously one that I did not mention that
Ooh,
everyone's going
excited.
to think
Yeah.
you mentioned, but they're
I'm
incredibly
excited.
underrated. So,
Yeah.
all right, what do you have for underrated?
The only underrated one I only have one for most of these. There's a band I really like called the Good Time Boys. They're a melodic hardcore band from the UK. They only put out like 2 albums, but I
Yeah.
love them. Very melodic hardcore that attempts to also mildly be screamo. So
Okay, cool. Appropriately rated. What do you have?
yes, I put Modern
Oh,
Life
yeah,
as
sorry.
War.
I was going. Okay, sorry. I was supposed to go
But
first.
I just knocked it out. There you go. I put Modern Life as War.
Good.
Because I love that band. I think they're doing very well. But they also they've been around for a while.
Yeah.
Modern Life as War is not new, but they've put in plenty of hours of work. They get a good amount of listens. But I could also see them in underrated, like you put them. They're just such a good band and
It's
consistent as hell.
like this type of melodic hardcore is not done anymore.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. It's
'Cause
not, and it's oof.
when people think of melodic hardcore, they don't think of these bands. And it's like some of the current popular melodic hardcore bands, just like with metalcore, it's where's the hardcore influence? Like,
Yeah,
call yourself melodic
exactly
hardcore, but there's zero hardcore influence in it,
right.
And so I'm gonna be a
They love
stickler
that
about it.
name. They
Exactly.
love that name.
Yeah, like bands
Yep.
like Casey or Being as an Ocean, like
Yeah.
cool, but where's the hardcore? Like there's no hardcore here.
Yeah. Right.
So
What's your appropriately rated one?
if you consider these hardcore, then like Misery Signals and Shai Hulud,
Okay,
I
great
know
answers.
they probably lean more on the metalcore, but like
Oh,
culturally,
whatever.
they're hardcore bands. So
Yeah,
yeah.
great answers though.
The other one is Defeater.
Oh, Defeater's great.
Yeah, I love Defeater.
Great band.
All right.
And is Defeater playing the Texas dates of the comeback
No,
kid?
they're not. I
Remind
think
me.
it's just
Lame.
Desmadre, Koyo, and Orthodox.
That's right.
So yeah, bummed about that. I don't know.
Lame.
Would have loved to see Defeater.
Yeah.
But all right. Overrated. So obviously it's Counterparts.
Yeah. I
Now
just am not behind that band.
I will give
I think they're
them
fine.
I will give them credit where credit is due. They did
Yeah.
kind of introduce me to melodic hardcore. So
Yeah.
like they at least put the idea in my head of like, oh, there's like melodic hardcore. I'm going to go search. And then I came across bands like, Saints Never Surrender, Modern Life is War, and Verse, and all these bands. And
For
I'm like,
sure.
okay, this is real melodic hardcore.
Yeah.
But like, and their new stuff, dude, just sounds so generic and overproduced.
It's all the same.
Yeah. It's
the other thing is Counterparts fans are becoming so weird to Brendan Murphy that it's like concerning. Like it's horrible that his cat died, but like people bring it up to him every day, and it's like, this is odd that you talk to this person you don't know about his dead cat. Yeah.
Their like first couple albums were tight.
I do like old Counterparts. Yeah. I feel like even up until Tragedy Will Never Find Us or Tragedy Will Find Us was really good. And then after that, it's just like, okay, it's all the
same thing.
Yeah. I like the drummer a lot. They have a great drummer.
Yeah. I think like musically they're talented.
I
just, man,
it's all just blurring together.
Yeah. It's the same thing with metalcore. Like if you're going to be a fan of metalcore, go listen to metalcore. Like if I'm going to be a fan of melodic hardcore, like Counterparts might be a good gateway, but I'm going to go listen to real melodic hardcore,
Totally.
So,
yeah.
But yeah. Well,
okay. Counterparts. So my overrated ones you have actually already named. I wrote down Being as an Ocean and Casey.
Oh, seriously?
I did. I have seen Being as an Ocean several times live, and I just don't get it. I had a friend describe it one time as bathtub hardcore because it was just like what you listen to in the bathtub, and I was like, that is a great way to say it. Where it's like it's not you can't like mosh to it. I don't get it. I know there's a lot of people that love Being as an Ocean because it's more like poetry core. I don't know. It's just not for me. It's not my thing. And Casey, I've never understood the appeal of. And it's great that band has a huge following. People freak out anytime they have music. It's just never been for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being as an Ocean maybe doesn't seem as bad to me as Casey, because I think Being of an Ocean knows what they are. And
yeah, they're very well aware of what they are.
Yeah. Their shows do look kind of weird because like Look, dude, like I've seen a lot of like Christcore bands and Christian hardcore. I've never seen something as weird as like him walking through the crowd and like people touching him. It's like,
Dude,
if that didn't
they're
happen in
all
like
over
weird
him.
Christian, I know if that didn't happen in the like extreme Christian shows that I saw growing up, but it does here. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Every time I see him
Crazy.
being his Ocean, like you said, he's always in the crowd, and people just are all over him. And I said to being like, "Do I need to call someone?
Yeah.
Like, do I need to report this?" Yeah, it's crazy.
So, I mean,
For music that's not even that great. That's the
yeah.
part that kills
There's
me.
like,
yeah.
they're like first, like, what's the album? Like Dear God or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool. Like I could listen to that one. And dude, to be honest with you, like there's plenty of times where like, I don't want to listen to something that, you know, is like,
Of course.
I don't want to listen to gorecore all the time, but
Gorecore.
when I take a step back from the gorecore, I'm not listening to Being as an Ocean.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that do love them. That band is always playing. They're always got stuff going on.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Same with Casey.
yeah. Is there a guy named Casey? Like, what are you doing?
I don't know. What a terrible name.
Are you just gonna name your band like Mike?
Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve kind of rips though. Dude, I have to
If you made merch that just said Steve, that'd be rad. That'd be so sick.
Yeah. So
I love that.
Well, shoot, dog. This was long.
This was long. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it would take this long.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's going to listen to like half of this. They're probably going to get through like part of it and then be like, you guys are just the worst.
They're going to listen to it on 3 times speed. Just be like, we get it. Let's get through this. Yeah.
I'm not cutting any of it, guys. I'm not shortening this at all. Like, just do it. You know, what else do you have to do? You know,
they got nothing going on.
Yeah. Just listen to an hour and 45 minutes of us with our terrible hot takes that no one's going to agree with. But look, dude, it was fun.
It was fun.
There's so many bands, there's so much music, and like I'm so grateful to like be a part of this and to like experience all this, you know? Like how boring would it be if I just listened to like one band my entire life? You know?
Seriously. There are those people too.
I know. It's so boring. Like we didn't even hit my favorite genre, ska, but like we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 12 genres, dude. Like,
look at us.
It's sick. Like it's sick that there's that much music that means something and also sucks, but you know, it's cool. It's cool.
We'll do the favorite genres for the part 3.
What do you mean? Like which ones?
We'll do ska and we'll do mathcore.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't even know mathcore. Beethoven.
Yeah, Beethoven. So my favorite mathcore, the most overrated mathcore band is Beethoven.
It is Beethoven.
Yeah, dude. Freaking loser.
All right, we're gonna numb that. So
okay, perfect.
All right, see you later, man. Thanks for
bye, dude.
See you.
Thanks so much.